Songwriters, an evening with Arthur Schwartz.
Oh, give me something to remember you by.
Featuring Nancy Dussault.
If there is someone lovelier than you.
Edward Evanco.
You and the night and the music fill me with flaming desire.
Judy Kaye. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Arthur Schwartz.
Dancing in the dark till the tune ends. We're dancing in the dark, and it soon ends. We're waltzing in the wonder of why we're here. Time hurries by, we're here and gone, looking for the light of a new love to brighten up the night. I have you, love, and we can face the music together, dancing in the dark. When I recorded that song several years ago for an album, the engineer in charge of the session was a young man of about 18. And when we finished, he said, Mr. Schwartz, did you write Dancing in the Dark? I said, yes. He said, well, good luck with it. Howard Dietz and I wrote the song for a Broadway review produced by a fabulous man at the theater whose name was Max Gordon. Max left school about the age of 15 to become an office boy in the theatrical office, and he never left the theater all his life. And so his whole vocabulary was in theatrical terms, no matter what the subject of conversation. I remember asking him once, Max, do you believe in reincarnation? He said, of course. I just can't believe that we close here and don't open somewhere else. I came to songwriting rather slowly. Before I wrote anything I really liked, I was finished with university and I was in law school. And during the summer holiday, I got a job as a counselor in a boys' camp. It's called Brant Lake Camp, and it's still going strong. And I went there because I had heard about a lyric writer, Lorenz Hart, who was just starting to write with Dick Rogers. And I thought maybe he would write some songs with me for the boys. And we did. We wrote several shows, and this was the first time I wrote a tune that I really liked. And this is the lyric that Larry Hart put to it. I love to lie awake in bed, and after taps, I boom the slaps above my head. I let the stars shine on my pillow. Oh, what a light the moonbeam shed. I feel so happy I could cry, and tears are born within the corner of my eye. To be at home with Ma was never like this. I could live forever like this. I love to lie awake a while and go to sleep with a smile. A few years later, Dietz and I got together on our first show, and we had to write a song for one of the characters who was in love with a married woman. And Dietz said, have you got any tunes that might apply? And I played him this camp tune, and he liked it very much. And without changing a note of the music, Dietz wrote a new lyric, which maybe some of you know. I guess I'll have to change my plan. I should have realized there'd be another man. Why did I buy those blue pajamas before the big affair began? My boiling point is much too low for me to try to be a Lothario. I think I'll crawl right back and into my shell, dwelling in my personal hell. I'll have to change my plan around. I've lost the one girl I found. Dietz and I then took on an assignment that was very daunting. A radio show was being produced, a musical one, about a typical American family called the Gibson family. And we were required to write 3 songs a week for 39 weeks if the demand came up for them. On the day of the signing of the contract, the president of the company said to me, "Arthur, 3 songs a week for 39 weeks. Isn't that going to take a lot out of you?" I said, "Yes, but it's also going to take a lot out of Bach, Beethoven, and Brahms." Of the 80 songs we wrote, one of them turned out to be my personal favorite all through the years. It's called "If There Is Someone Lovelier Than You," and with Paul Trueblood at the piano, it's going to be sung by Ed Avango.
If there is someone lovelier than you, then I am blind, a man without a mind. If there is someone lovelier than you. But no, I am not blind. My eyes have traveled everywhere in hope that I might find a creature half so fair. If there is someone lovelier than you, by all that's beautiful, such beauty can't be true. But no, I am not blind. My eyes have traveled everywhere in hope that I might find a creature half so fair. If there is someone lovelier than you, by all that's beautiful, such beauty can't be
Dietz and I wrote many rhythm songs over the years. The one I like best is called "A Shine on Your Shoes." You might have seen Fred Astaire do it in a film called The Bandwagon. Tonight, it's being sung by the enchanting and lovely Nancy Dussault.
When you feel as low as the bottom of a well because your lover has gone, do something to perk yourself up and make yourself move on. Give a tug to your tie, put a crease in your pants. But if you really want to feel fine, give your shoes a shine. When there's a shine on your shoes, there's a melody in your heart with a singable happy feeling, a wonderful way to start to face the world every day with a dee-dum-dee-die-die, little melody that is making the worrying world go by. When you walk down the street with that happy-go-lucky beat, you'll find a lot in what I'm repeating. When there's a shine on your shoes, there's a melody in your heart. What a wonderful way to start the day. When there's a shine.
Howard Dietz and I wrote several dark songs, and one of them was called Alone Together. A critic reviewing the show said it should be called Dancing in the Schwartz. It's going to be sung tonight by Judy Kaye.
Alone together, beyond the crowd, above the world, we're not too proud to cling together, and we're strong as long as we're together. Alone together, the blinding rain, the starless night, we're not in vain if we're together, we're strong as long as we're together. Our love is as deep as the sea. Our love is as great as love can be. And we can weather the great unknown if we're alone together. Our love is as deep as the sea. Our love is as great as a love can be. And we can weather the great unknown if we're alone together.
After a few years, I decided I wanted to try my hand at producing. So I brought to Broadway a musical revue called Inside USA, and it starred Beatrice Lillie. In one of the songs, Dietz and I managed to find a way of bringing in almost every state's name. Every state in the USA has something it can boast of, some product that the state produces the most of. Rhode Island is little, but oh my, it has a product anyone would buy. Copper comes from Arizona, peaches come from Georgia, and lobsters come from Maine. The wheat fields are the sweet fields of Nebraska, and Kansas gets bonanzas from the grain. Old whiskey comes from old Kentucky. Ain't the country lucky? New Jersey gives us Galoo. And you come from Rhode Island, and little old Rhode Island is famous for you. Pencils
Come from Pennsylvania,
vests
from West Virginia,
and tents.
From Tennessee,
We know mink, where they grow mink.
In Wyoming,
A camp chair,
in New Hampshire,
that's for me. And minnows,
come from Minnesota.
coats.
come from Dakota.
But why should you be blue? For you come from Rhode Island. We'll sing about Rhode Island and dance it, you enhance it, for the Newport, Providence, Narragansett. Rhode Island's famous for you. loves me. When we roll on the merry-go-round, I kiss Louisa, and then Louisa kissed me. We were so happy and free. Oh God, but she's a beautiful Louisa. Ah, when I choose 'em, I love a great big bosom. Someday Louisa will be more than just a Fräulein to me. That was a song that Fred Astaire sang in a review during the bad years of the Depression. And we wanted a real merry-go-round, which is in the lyric. And the big question was, could we afford it? Could the producer afford it? Well, we put on the stage in the New Amsterdam Theater on 42nd Street, the greatest merry-go-round you ever saw. It was a duplicate of anything you've ever seen as a merry-go-round, with horses going up and down. It worked out simply marvelously. And of course, that was the height of my beginnings with Howard Dietz. And working with Howard Dietz has been a lifelong privilege. His warm companionship, his sophistication, and his wit are absolutely incomparable. I wanted to work with him long before we did get together. I was a practicing lawyer, and when his lyrics first appeared on Broadway, the music was by Jerome Kern, and Howard's lyrics were simply fascinating to me, and I thought, that's the man I want to have work with me sometime. So I wrote him a letter suggesting that I was going to leave the practice of law to try my hand at Broadway, and asked whether he wouldn't collaborate with me. And he wrote a polite brush-off in reply, and he said, well, that since he was a beginning lyric writer who had the luck to have an established great man like Jerome Kern, he said that I should find an established lyricist, since I was a beginner, and work with him. Well, it was a hard thing to do. Finally, an old schoolmate of mine who came to Broadway in his grown-up years put us together, and he and I wrote dozens and dozens of songs. We worked mainly in hotels, and of course, there were many complaints about the music. The piano was going day and night, and at all hours. And after many moves, Howard remarked to me, you notice, Arthur, nobody complains about the lyrics. He and I both hated false rhymes. And there was a famous lyricist, Benny Davis, who wrote a tremendous number of false rhymes. One of them was home and alone, which don't rhyme, and together and forever, they don't rhyme. And Howard said, making I think a nice joke, heaven save us from Benny Davis. Our first song hit was a ballad, Something to Remember You By.
You are leaving me, and I will try to face the world alone. What will be, but time cannot erase the love we've known. Let me but have a token through which our love is spoken. You are leaving me, but it will say you're mine. Oh, give me something to remember you by. When you are far away from me, dear, some little something, meaning love cannot die. No matter where you chance to be, though I pray for you night and day for you, it will see me through like a charm till you're returning.
One day I said to Howard, I know you're a marvelous lyric writer and a fast one, but how fast can you really write? He said, try me. I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I won't play you one of my tunes. I'll play you an old familiar tango. And while I was playing it, he was writing it. And here's what he gave me. Sit, Charisse, get off that mantelpiece. You're quite a shock there. We need a clock there. We're all going to do some of the songs that Dietz and I wrote together. The lyrics were not only written with great speed, but with great skill. I see a new sun up in a new sky, and my whole horizon has reached a new high. Yesterday my heart sang a blue song, but today hear it hum a cheery new song. I dreamed a new dream, I saw a new face, and I'm spreading sunshine all over the place. With a new point of view, here's what greets my eye. New love, new luck, new sun in the sky.
I see your face before me, crowding my every dream. There is your face before me, you are my only theme. Would that my love could haunt you so, knowing I want you so. I can't erase your beautiful face before me.
You and the night and the music fill me with flaming desire, setting my being completely on fire. If we must live for the moment, love till the moment is through. After the night and the music die, will I have you?
Get going, Louisiana hayride. Get going, we all is ready.
Start something, Louisiana hayride. No use for calling the roll. Oh, I like that sport.
Sitting in the hay, loving it away.
Oh, oh,
When the time is short, crack your little whip, get your little ship to go.
I'll go my way by myself. Here's how the comedy ends. I'll have to deny myself love and laughter and friends. I'll try to apply myself and teach my heart how to sing. I'll go my way by myself like a bird on the wing. I'll face the unknown. I'll build a world of my own. No one knows better than I myself. I'm by myself alone. I'm like a new broom. I'm gonna sweep, clean, and make a clean sweep today. Feel at last I could be everything I should be. I've turned a new leaf. I'm climbing up there, and when I'm up there, I'll stay. Got my girl, and nothing's going astray. I get a lump in my throat to see the hope in her eye. I gotta take off my coat, make her proud. I'm her guy. I'm like a new broom. I'm gonna house clean. I want a clean house to start. Then I'll take my girl to live in my heart. That song comes from a musical play I wrote with the wonderful Dorothy Fields as lyric writer. It was called A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, and it was adapted from a famous novel by Betty Smith. The scene is in Brooklyn, of course, and the year is 1910. And the story is about a second-generation Irish-American family called the Nolans. And Eddie is a charming singing waiter with a little emphasis on the booze and gambling. Katie, Judy, is his wife, and she thinks that everything would be all right and he would be off the gambling and the booze if he really loved her as much as she loves him. And she sings about it.
I must try to make the man love me, make the man love me now. By and by I'll make the man happy. I know how. He must see how badly I want him just as he is. May I say that should the man ask me, I'll be his. Can I tell the man just how dearly blessed we would be? Oh, the beauty I see so clearly. Oh, why can't he? So I pray to heaven above me, pray until day grows dim, for a way to make the man love me as I love him. I must try to make the man
Johnny has been away for a whole week on a binge, and when he comes back, he's full of remorse and wild promises that nobody could fulfill, but he tries in this song.
There's nothing that I know here on this earth good enough for you. So if I want to show you all your worth, I'd have to try shopping up in the blue. I'll buy you a star, not just a star, but the best one in the sky. You'll have a cloud to sleep on, a cloud as light as an angel's sigh, a fine silver chain made from the rain of a summer afternoon. I'll buy you a star, my darling, but I until I buy the moon. I'll buy you a star, my darling, but I won't rest until I buy the moon.
Nancy, you know you play the part of Sissy, a wonderful, adorable woman who's very happy at this moment in the script because she knows she's going to get married. She sings about it.
I don't want a wedding with flowers. All I want is standing right here. Everywhere there's music and flowers. Got to kick my heels. Got to sing and dance. Here's a girl with everything. Look who's dancing, look who's on air. Silly and dizzy and too dumb to care. Will you look who's floating like a feather? Since he said that we belong together. Look who's dancing, look who's a fool. Young as a chick with a kick like a mule. Look who hasn't got a wrinkle on her brow. Look who's dancing, look who's dancing. Look, look, look who's dancing now. Hit it!
Look who's dancing, look who's on air. Silly and dizzy and too dumb to care. Will you look who's floating like a feather? Since he said that they belong together.
Look who's dancing without a blush. Loony and spoony and moonlight and mush. Look who hasn't got a wrinkle on her brow. Look who's dancing, look who's dancing. Look, look, look. Who's dancing
Like most Broadway composers, I found my way soon to Hollywood, and the first film score I wrote was written with a very gifted lyric writer, Leo Robin. Leo is renowned all through his life for his generosity about his colleagues' work. I remember sitting around with a group, including Leo, discussing the score that two people wrote who were not present. Someone asked Leo what he thought of it. He said, "I haven't heard it, but I'll bet it's great." Here's one of his great lyrics. What do they do on a rainy night in Rio? What do they do when there is no starry sky? Where do they go when they can't go for a walk? Do they stay home and talk, or do they sit and sigh?
Where do they woo on a rainy night in Rio?
Where can a gay senorita say, see, see?
Maybe the girl wants a tender kiss, and yet, how tender can you get when you're beneath a wet palm tree?
But what do they do in Mississippi when skies are dripping?
And what do they do when it's murky in Albuquerque?
And what do they do in old Altoona when the moon above ain't bright? Well, that's what they do in Rio on a rainy night.
But what do they do when skies are dreary along Lake Erie?
And what do they do in old St. Louis when skies are dewy?
And what do they do in Colorado when a shadow dims the light?
And what do they do in Tallahassee when a lassie says, all right. Well, that's what they do in Rio on a rainy night.
Ooh, it's a nice help.
Recently, Leo and I wrote a new song, this time for a Broadway show that's going to be produced. When I played it for the producer, he said it's absolutely going to be a hit. I hope he's right. It's called A Silent Song.
I can hear a silent song when you are near. Not a word is heard, and yet the words are clear. Just a touch can tell so much when love is strong. Just a sigh can be a silent song. I can hear a silent song when you are near. Not a word is heard, and yet the words are clear. Just a touch can tell so much when love is strong. Just a sigh can be a silent song. Just a sigh can be a silent
It's been my great luck to work with some of the greatest lyric writers of our time. The only time I wrote a song that was not in a film or show, it was written with Yip Harburg, a great, ingenious writer. He was clever enough to write this next song, which is a love song, without ever using the word love.
I'll be tired of you when stars are tired of gleaming, when I am tired of dreaming, then I'll be tired of you. This I know is true, when winds are tired of blowing, when grass is tired of growing, then I'll be tired of you. Beyond the years, till day is night, till wrong is right, till birds refuse to sing. Beyond the years, the echo of my only love will still be whispering, whispering. If my troubling heart should ever start repeating that it is tired of beating, then I'll be tired of you. Beyond the years, the echo of my only love will still be whispering, whispering.
Frank Lesser was a phenomenon. When we wrote together, he was merely a marvelous lyric writer. Later he became a composer, producer, publisher. And when we worked together, it was during World War II. And Jack Warner wanted us to write a score for a musical picture that would have all of his stars in it, whether they could sing or not. We wrote songs for Errol Flynn, Humphrey Bogart, and one we wrote that Betty Davis surprisingly sang quite well.
You marched away and left this town as empty as can be. I can't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me.
For there is no secret lover that the draft board didn't discover. They're either too young or too old. They're either too gray or too grassy green. The pickings are poor and the crop is lean. What's good is in the army. What's left will never harm me. They're either too old or too young. So darling, you'll never get stung. Tomorrow I'll go hiking with that Eagle Scout. Unless I get a call from Grandpa for a snappy game of chess. I'm finding it easy to stay good as gold. They're either too young or too old. They're either too bold or too bold. I'm down to the wheelchair and bassinet. My heart still refuses to get upset. I simply can't compel it to, with no Marines to tell it to. I'm either their first breath of spring, or either I'm their last little fling. I either get a fossil or an adolescent pup. I either have to hold him off or have to hold him off. The battle is on, but the fortress still hold. They're either too young or too old. Never, never failure. Once you are in Australia,
Or out in the oceans,
or off among the Russians,
or flying over Egypt, your heart will never be gypped.
and when you get to India, I'll still be what I've been to.
I've looked the field over, and lo and behold, they're either too young or too old.
Some years later, I was in Jack Warner's office discussing another project when his assistant broke into the room and said, "I just heard on the radio that one of our actors is going to run for governor." Warner said, "Who?" The man said, "Ronald Reagan." Warner quickly said, "No, Jimmy Stewart for governor, Ronald Reagan for best friend." When I first started writing for the stage, I couldn't imagine that so many varied ideas could be stated in song. Of course, I found out it was really true. Anything that happens in life can happen in a show. You can make them laugh, you can make them cry. Anything can go. The clown with his pants falling down all the gown. That's a dream of romance, or the scene where the villain is mean. That's entertainment. The lights on the lady in tights, or the bride with a guy on the side, or the ball where she gives him her all. That's entertainment. The plot can be hot, simply teeming with sex. A gay divorcee who is after her ex. It could be Oedipus Rex, where a chap kills his father and causes a lot of bother. The clerk who is thrown out of work by the boss, who is thrown for a loss by the skirt, who is doing him dirt. The world is a stage, the stage is a world of entertainment.
the jury is out.
Or the thrill when they're reading the will.
Or the chase for the man with the face.
That's entertainment. The dame who is known as the flame or the king of an underworld ring.
He's an ape who won't let her escape.
That's entertainment.
It might be a fight like you see on the screen, a swain getting slain for the love of a queen. Some great Shakespearean scene where a ghost and a prince meet and everyone ends in mincemeat.
The gag may be waving the flag
That began